All right. So welcome to our Agentic AI course. I hope all of you are able to hear me. It should be possible for you to drop a message. This is the new cohort that we are starting for the Agentic AI. My name is Vinay and I am going to be the instructor for this course. So let's look at the agenda that we are going to follow today. We will start with a brief background reflecting on the recent tech developments. Then I will explain what this course is about, why should you care, and then I will share the brief on the course content, the topics, subtopics, and so on. And then we'll share with you the details on the course fee, course LMS, the certificate of accomplishment, and how to join this course. If you have any questions, you can drop us the questions. We have already received some of the questions by email. So we will try to cover as many questions as possible given the time. Let me set the stage before we take a leap into the future. I have spent years digging into AI as someone working in AI ML leadership, looking into AI skilling, AI projects, on the daily basis, and also I'm a hands-on AI developer. I have been following the advancements and building AI systems myself. To make it short, what I want to say is that I have seen the first hand how fast this entire field is moving. And let me tell you that never in the known tech history, the pace of tech evolution has been so rapid. It is phenomenal, outstanding kind of pace that we have seen. When it comes to AI, agentic AI is the one of the biggest tech wave today, and you are at the perfect time to ride it. It is not late. In fact, it is the right time that you catch up this tech wave and move on to the new evolution that is happening. Okay, now let's break down how we got here, what is coming down the road, and why this matters to you. So looking at the recent past in a fast forward manner, let's start with the journey from 2020 when the OpenAI's GPT-3 stunned the world with its ability to write human-like text, setting the stage for AI that could do more than just talk. Then in 2022, the GPT exploded onto the scene, making the conversational AI a daily tool for millions and sparking a race for the smarter systems. 2022, the end of the 2022, ChatGPT was one of the biggest trend in technology, and it became one of the household names across the world extremely fast. Then in 2023, OpenAI's function calling API for GPT 3.5 and GPT 4 let these models call external tools. Several other organizations also released models function calling APIs. So after that, the Copilot, the Microsoft rolled out the Copilot, embedding AI into Windows and Office, automating the daily tasks like drafting the emails, automating the documents. All of this became possible through Microsoft Copilot. So that was the 2023. At the same time, AI Safety Summit in UK pushed for the safe agent development and the AI development across the world. Several other countries, including India, US, and the European Union, they also started talking about national policy to safeguard the interests of the enterprises and the common masses. Fast forward to 2024, AI code editors like Cursor, which is a Visual Studio Code fork, with the AI-powered auto-completion and the project-wide refactoring became possible. The rise of the AI code editors has basically made it possible to speed up the development work across organizations. Several organizations across the world have permitted the workforce to use AI code editors. And according to one of the surveys, 26% to nearly 40% of the work basically carried out by these AI code editors. So the pace has been extremely fast from 2020 to 2024. Now in 2025, the OpenAI's operator tackled the task like travel booking. Amazon's Nova Act controlled the web browsers for shopping. Then GitHub Copilot's agent mode started writing, debugging, and testing the code across the entire project. So all of this has become a reality in just 5 years. Now, let's look at the predictions that are made by several large organizations. They conducted their own research and surveys. Deloitte predicts that 25% of the enterprises using generative AI will deploy AI agents in 2025, growing to 50% by 2027, transforming the healthcare with diagnostic agents, finance with the fraud detection, and the logistics with the supply chain. Similarly, Gartner sees that AI agents are reshaping the work with the board, the company board, using them for decision making. And it is projected that the AI market, which is currently approximately $400 billion, is going to hit $13 trillion by 2030. Lot of such reports have been published. Also, there are risk, privacy, bias, and misuse reports are also there. National policies are also drafted. These are all transformation that is happening underlying. Everywhere the transformation, the shift is coming up. Okay. Now I am moving little faster and jumping on to what is going to be covered in this course. Fine. So let's begin the journey with the foundation. This course, we will start with the foundation. We will build the foundation so that when you develop the AI agent, when you work in the organization, you know the fundamentals also, that what is happening behind the scene. Some of these basic skills are extremely valuable. Without these skills, complex projects cannot execute. You cannot execute complex projects. So therefore, it is not just for the sake of knowledge, it is also required for the sake of delivery of the project efficiently. Okay. The first topic that we are going to look at is the tokenization and the embedding. When somebody gives you a text, a sentence, or a paragraph, or a full page of document, how do we expect that the computers are going to understand it? Computers, as we have learned during our schooling and the college, that computers understand binary numbers only, zeros and ones. But what we are giving to the computer is natural language text, or images, or audio, or video, and asking all kinds of questions that summarize this text, answer based on the given document, fix the grammatical mistakes. So the question comes is that how the computer is actually understanding my text. So the fact is that computers don't understand text. We have to convert that text into numbers. Each word or each subword in the text is given a particular number. Let's say you have 10,000 words, then every word gets a unique number. Word is converted into token, and every token gets a unique number. The token is basically the way that LLM breaks a given word so that it can understand the relationship between the words in a more efficient manner. So first step is breaking the text that you are sending to tokenize it, break it into parts. For example, successfully is broken into success and fully. It can be broken into several other ways also, depending on the which tokenization algorithm is used. We will study this in detail. Okay, so I am just giving you a rough understanding that what is going to come when we dive into the foundation of this course. Okay, then the every number is then converted into embeddings, which are nothing but the a large vector with several dimensions. For example, a 4,000 dimension vector, 4,000 numbers that you can put in that vector. So dimensions of the vectors, and those 4,000 dimensions are basically conveying the meaning of that word in different ways. How different models are shaped, or what embedding size is allocated for different models. For example, BERT has some 768. BERT is a large language model released in 2018, still very popular. It has 768 dimension, whereas the more modern models have gone beyond 4,000 dimensions embeddings. So we will look at those internal details, that how the text is converted into tokens and the tokens to embeddings, and the role of the embeddings. Then we will jump into the most common internals of LLM. Most of the LLMs are basically based on transformers and attention mechanism. Transformer and is basically the architecture, underlying architecture. whereas the attention is a mechanism that is used in that architecture to understand the relevance of the words given a particular word, how the other words are relevant to it. So for that purpose, attention mechanism is used. So we are going to understand that architecture and the attention mechanism, which is the, you can say, the heart of the LLM. LLM functions based on these things. And when the model fine tuning is done, if certain model is not appropriate for your use case and you want to do some fine tuning, then understanding of the transformer and the attention mechanism would be very useful. Not only the theoretical things, we will also look at how practically they are implemented. We will also look at the mathematical details of how the matrix vector multiplication happens, how the batch processing happens, how the normalization happens. All of these details we will see in detail, so that you build the confidence. You can say with confidence in the interviews, or when you join certain discussions with your colleagues, or within the office with your manager, you can speak with confidence that how these agents basically function, and if they are not working properly, where the changes are required. Then the next part of the course, like what I am telling you, are going to be the major topics. Each of those topics will be broken into several classes. For example, this tokenization and embedding is going to be some 3 classes. Then this prompt engineering is going to cover 2.5 or 3 classes, depending on the reception of the students. So what I am telling you are the major topics that we are going to cover in this course. So the next that we will look at is the advanced prompting, the techniques that we will cover. So we will start with the basics: zero shot, one shot, few shot, and then a chain of thought. So what is the system role? What is the user role? All of these things we will understand. Prompt engineering has become one of the must know thing. Even if you are not a developer, if then also you must know what is prompt engineering, how to write prompts for different tasks that you want LLM to perform. Okay, so this is something that I would say that in today's time everybody should know. Every person who is using computers for day-to-day work, for professional work, must know prompt engineering. Okay, and given that this course is about learning and developing AI agents, deploying those AI agents. Therefore, we are going to have a deep dive into these techniques with several examples for every technique. Okay, we will look at some advanced techniques like tree of thought, thread of thought, and if it is a logical problem, if it is a math related problem, if it is a coding related problem, if it is a some strategy, you want the LLM to devise a strategy, you want the LLM to create an entire project report given the constraints. Those constraints must be followed in the report. Then how you should communicate with the LLM. So these are the techniques that we are going to look at in the prompt engineering. Then the another major topic is going to be building and working with the AI agents. This is going to be like around some 10 to 12 classes we will spend on understanding how agents work, how can we impart the reasoning skills in a AI agent, how can we impart the skills that it can go out and choose an external tool from the list of tools that we define, how can an AI agent go and execute the entire workflows. That also we are going to cover. Not only just theoretical understanding, not only just understanding that this is how agents work, but actually you will actually implement these things. Okay, with smaller examples will be presented in the class. Then multiple such mini projects will be given within the class, will be presented within the class. Then there is going to be a mini project that you submit as an exercise. Those exercises will be delivered via Git and GitHub. All the exercises, coding exercises, will be provided in that repository. You will have to pull that repository, submit your notebook, your work. So these exercises basically are the confidence building exercises that you have looked at smaller examples, you have looked at couple of mini projects within the class. Now are you able to use those skills and complete a unseen mini project on your own? Okay, and sufficient time will be given to you. Then we will look at how to build these AI agents using the some of the most popular agentic frameworks, LangChain and LangGraph. LangChain and LangGraph are the most popular agentic frameworks out there. They are open source framework. They have one of the highest number of GitHub stars, and they have been adopted in the enterprises across the world. In Fortune 500 companies, they have adopted LangChain and LangGraph. So we are going to study this, and every session, by the way, every session is approximately 2 hours, and it is my objective to impart that confidence in you. Okay, but you have to be sincere. You have to be a sincere student, that you pay attention to the lecture, you do the revision of the notes, and execute every example on your own, and not just depend on the what is presented in the class and then go and sleep. So that won't give you the enough confidence to bring that magic. Okay, throughout this course we will use several LLM models. Some of those models are going to be suitable for edge devices. For example, you can use them in mobile phone application. If you are developing mobile apps, there are going to be LLM models that require large amount of compute power, and they are so big that a laptop memory is not suitable to fit that entire model and then communicate. Or the inference, you ask a question and the result is going to take about a minute or 2 or 5 minutes. Then how to use those models in a server environment. So we will look at a range of LLM models. You will understand the story behind these models. You will understand that how many parameters are there, what is the size of this model, what are the limitations of this model, what a particular model is good for, in which situation, in which use case you should look at these models. So some, I have just written few names here. So those who have been reading about these models in blog posts, in newspapers, this course is going to give you a chance to actually use these models and implement something useful. Okay. The next that we are going to cover, that we will cover in this course, is about model context protocol, or the MCP. MCP is one of the, you can say, the adoption of MCP has been very, very fast. Several Fortune 500 companies have adopted MCP. In fact, in India, for example, if you are from Bangalore, you would know Zerodha. Zerodha is one of the very big stockbroker. They have recently, I think just 2 weeks back, they have released their MCP. So you can connect the Zerodha's Kite platform with their MCP, and you can access your Zerodha portfolio in your cursor editor. We will look at the theory behind the model context protocol. We will understand that why it matters, why model context protocol is required going ahead. And this is a natural progression in the agentic AI journey of the agentic AI, evolution of agentic AI, that something like model MCP was going to happen. It was very obvious that something of this kind would happen. And MCP is now available. It is created by Anthropic. It is proposed by Anthropic and has been adopted by several large organizations, including Google. So this basically breaks the AI model silos. You have different AI models. Somebody is using GPT, somebody is using Anthropic models, somebody is using, let's say, the open source Llama models. Different applications have different requirements, different structured data. So, for example, you have a CRM data, you have a chatbot. Chatbot wants to communicate with the end user given the history that is there in the CRM. So how the CRM's data can be provided as a context to your chatbot, which communicates with the LLM and gives the response. So model context protocol makes all of this seamless, and it has become a standard. So there are core components of MCP that we are going to study in detail. For example, context schema, which basically allows us to create a structured format defining the organization of your context. Then we are going to look at the transport layer, which basically tells us how to send the context data reliably between the system. Then metadata standards, the rules to include the metadata, for example, model IDs, timestamps, then security and privacy, encryption and access control when you are sharing the context between system and the LLM, or between one system and the another system, and in between there is a agentic framework or a LLM. So this is one of the most recent advancement, which has already become a enterprise grade technology, and it has been adopted in the several large organizations. We will have hands-on examples on MCP. We will build our own use case for the MCP, and you can think about like complete understanding of MCP, not just theory what MCP is, but actually going and implementing your own MCP. So understanding this at this stage, I would consider that you are going to be one very early adopters of this technology, and before the project comes, you should have these skills in hand so that you can be start working on the project as they come. The course duration is around 2.5 to 3 months. Every week there are going to be 2 sessions, so you can think of that you have to spend 4 hours in the classroom session, online classroom session, and then approximately same amount of time you will have to devote to complete the examples, to revise the notes, and when the exercises come, you can consider another extra 1 hour you will have to spend. So if you think that you can spend 7-8 hours per week, that is on an average 1 hour per day, okay, so 7-8 hour per week if you are ready to spend, then this course you should attend. This course is for you. The course LMS, every participant will have access to a dedicated course LMS. In that course LMS, you will have the access to notes, exercises, recordings, and you will have access to a forum where you can ask questions, you can post the screenshots. The certificate, every participant who completes the entire course will get a digitally verifiable certificate. On that certificate, it will be mentioned, your name will be mentioned, which course you have attended, from when you have attended it, and there is going to be a link that if your employer, your manager, or anybody clicks on that link, it will take them to our website where formally it will be approved that yes, so and so student has completed the course. So you are not just getting a document that anybody can create. That document has a connection with our record that yes, the person has completed the course. So this is digitally verifiable, and you will be able to link it with your LinkedIn profile also. These candidates who will perform excellently, then they are going to get a special mention on their certificate. Every participant will get the certificate, there is no doubt about it. But those who are extraordinary, who display extraordinary commitment to learn and exhibit that in terms of carrying out the projects, they are going to get special mention on their certificate. The question, Prithviraj, sir, I have confusion. How will I begin my AI ML journey? What basics and math I need to know? Please give me the insights. Okay. There are two kinds of thing. One is a traditional or traditional machine learning, which is a more longer duration, for example, 8 months, 9 months, a year course. The uses of the traditional skills are becoming lesser and lesser. More modern way of using the machine learning and AI skills is basically through LLMs. It doesn't mean that the principles that are there in the traditional machine learning, they are of no use. They are still useful. Basics of those principles will be covered in the course. So if you don't know anything about machine learning, it is absolutely fine. We don't expect you to know machine learning. You must know some programming skills. You must know basics of Python. You should be able to write loops, small functions. You should know what is a class. You should know how to declare a dictionary, how to declare a set or a list or a tuple. This basic understanding is required. If you have these skills, you are going to enjoy this course fully as a developer. Then mathematics. Okay. If you know what is a vector, or if you are able to recollect that from your high school days and the college days, you know what is a vector, what is a matrix. If you know this much, it is good. You don't have to be a math wizard. We don't ask you to know that how to compute a derivative or how to compute a gradient, how to do matrix vector multiplication. Some basics will be covered, but you should not be blank. When I say vector, you should know that what I mean. When I say matrix, you should know that what I am talking about. Okay, rows and columns, you should be able to relate with those things. Yes, Krishnendu, I think I have already answered your question. Saksham, I have answered your question. Prithviraj and Shiva, all of your questions are answered. Now, there are a couple of questions that we got from via email before the session started. So let me cover those questions also. The question regarding the capstone project. Capstone project is going to cover several topics that we are going to cover throughout this course. Using LangChain, LangGraph, getting the connecting the different data sources, routing your query. All of this is going to be part of the capstone project. And yeah, there was one question about the resources that will be required. So you should have a laptop with minimum 8 GB RAM. Recommended is that you should have 12 or 16 GB of RAM laptop. There are going to be few mini projects or the capstone project which would require access to the GPU. Those who want to try the GPU in the cloud, we can help them through our organization. We have partnered with some organizations, so you can use as part of the course, but there is going to be a separate payment for using those professional GPUs. Most of the course can be completed if you have 12 to 16 GB, or at minimum the least is 8 GB RAM laptop. If you have, you can cover most of the course. For certain part, definitely you will need higher compute resources so that you can get professional experience of how this AI technology basically works. Okay, fine. So we wrap up for our today's session. I hope we have been able to cover all the questions regarding this course, and I welcome all of you to attend the next class, which is going to be the first class of this Agentic AI course. Attend the next class and see for yourself that whether it makes sense, whether you are enjoying the course, and whether you will be able to complete this course.